And then that means that I make a series of different decisions which change the trajectory of several areas of my life. I maybe stop spending as much, I start budgeting a little bit, I go and educate myself in a new skill. And if you zoom out on that as a graph over like 10, 20, 30 years, you're in an entirely different position because you used 1 hour differently 30 years ago. But you'll like never see the return because it's so compounding is so hard to see
It's
in the
invisible.
moment. But
Yeah.
I really think about this a lot. I try and remind myself on a frequent basis that like the actual currency I'm spending is these hours that I have, and how intentional and well placed and aligned they are to my long term goals is maybe the most important thing.
And it's the most powerful thing that you have.
Mhm.
Exactly.
What about your happiness? What makes you happy, Nisha?
The way I'm living right now, which is doing what I'm doing for a living, is making me extremely happy. And it's the happiest I've been since starting a career in
Why?
banking. It comes back to finding a meaning and a purpose in what you're doing. And to say that I make money from helping people get better with their finances, I don't think there's stuff, and you can't get much better than that. I don't think there's many jobs in life that are more rewarding than giving back in some way, however that looks like for you, through your own skills, your own expertise, your own unique selling points. I can't imagine a better place for me myself to be in. And it's taken a long time to get to that, but it's been good. It's been a journey, but it's been a good one.
AI is this, the topic of the moment because it's just impacting everything. It's impacting people's ability to get jobs. It's impacting how I'm hiring as an employer. It's impacting how I do my creative work and even me as a podcaster as well. I was wondering what you're doing, how you're thinking about AI.
I'm seeing more and more people leaning into AI to get money tips and money advice.
Mhm.
And I think that's great because everything's at the expertise. If you're looking at what was available 20 years ago versus what was available 5 years ago versus what was available a year ago to what's available now, there's so much more information that is vastly available at your fingertips for you to learn financial literacy
Mhm.
and be prepared for it. The thing that I'd always ask people to remember is don't forget the emotional side of money, because greed, fear, that all comes into how you're managing your finances as well.
Yeah.
So use AI, use it to your advantage. I think it's brilliant, and I think you always need to lean into it. But there's the human component that can never be taken out of the equation, especially when it comes to money and finance.
Could I not just go on like ChatGPT and ask it to be my personal accountant every month and tell it my situation, tell it my goals, and then tell it to give me advice every day, week, month on what I should be doing?
I think that would be a great starting point to understand, what do I need to do if I'm absolutely clueless? That's not to say ChatGPT is always correct.
Mhm.
As you probably know, there's some errors in it. So take it with a pinch of salt. But if you're starting from scratch, even saying, hey, this is my income, this is my spending, how do you recommend I budget? Give me 3 or 4 ways to consider it. Yeah, that would be a way for you to take, if that's a way for you to take that next step, then I definitely think that's an avenue to be explored.
Jack, you were telling me the other day that you're now using AI a lot for financial support and advice.
hmm
What are you doing?
So I've got like this prompt on ChatGPT where I've asked it to be the world's best financial advisor for me, and I screenshotted all my bank statements, and every time I tell people this, they kind of wince because it's like a window into your life. I don't kind of know the GDPR or whatever around it, but it's been so useful. So I've screenshotted everything on my bank statement, and then it tells me how much I spend a month, how much I can put into investments and stuff. And I also screenshotted this investment account I had, and it told me that I was overpaying on my investment account and that I should switch to another one because the fees were better. And then it was like, you don't have enough in savings, so you should stop investing and put your money into savings. Gave me advice on a savings account to put it into with a high interest, like 4% interest. And it's actually been game changing because it's kind of a base knowledge that I wouldn't have had an understanding towards. And I get very excited when I listen to these podcasts because I sit here and they tell you like ones to invest in. And I think it was a particular guest we had on, and she said, you should invest in this kind of stock. And I said like, oh, what do you think about this stock? And it was just like, don't be silly. you're not this person. And it's just been really helpful for me to kind of understand its advice changes and adjusts.
Oh, was that Kathy Wood?
Yeah.
Was it Tesla?
Yeah.
What I told you to behave. It was
Yeah,
like,
it
behave
did.
yourself.
Because I asked it to be brutally honest about all the advice it gave me.
Yeah,
And I was
okay.
like, Kathy Wood had this advice. Tell me, should I put it in? Should I put all my money into Tesla?
Yeah.
And it was like, look, you're not Kathy Wood. Like, you don't have enough. It's kind of what you said about having emergency funds.
Yeah.
It's like you don't have enough in your emergency funds. Top that up first. And that's like, if you want to invest in Tesla, we'll have another pot. So the new one, I've done trading 212.
Yeah.
And you can do pies. So I've got a safe one and a not so safe one, and then a high interest account.
That's really interesting, Jack, that you've done that. And I think that just shows the power of AI now. And there's two really interesting things that I picked up on then. The first is that it's very tailored based on you, which with AI, it's probably understood who you are as a person from the information that you fed to it, your risk profile, your amounts, the bank statement had your savings. And from that, it derived a profile and gave you the correct information based on your current situation.
Mm-hmm.
And the second thing that probably doesn't get mentioned in maybe podcasts that you've done so far, Stephen, is the savings, the putting it into a high interest savings account. It's a very easy, basic personal finance tips that actually do make a difference when it comes to habits, but also it's easy. That's passive income for you. But it would get missed out on a lot of the advice if you're watching a specific investing focused YouTube video or a podcast. So it just harnesses the power of ChatGPT. I don't know yet I don't know if we have any information about how much information we can actually feed into ChatGPT and where that goes. But it sounds like it's just, you've given it the underlying framework of this is my current situation, and it's given you the correct initial guidance at least. And then you've been able to say, okay, that makes sense for me, or no, I'm not going to listen to this.
Yeah, I think I keep asking it, like, am I on track? And it changes its advice. So although it's been really good initially, I think I'm now, with that base knowledge, just going to go and and everything I've learned on these podcasts as well, just kind of go and run with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a really important thing because, there's so much information online when it comes to money that you don't actually know who to listen to and who to get advice from and who to trust. Because you could be scrolling through TikTok and the first video you see is put all your money into Tesla or crypto or one asset, or you can see another one that says, oh, stop buying lattes, so otherwise you'll die broke. And then the next video might be mine and you might think, oh, well, the last two people just told me BS. Why should I listen to this person? And so finding a person whose principles and philosophy align with your way of thinking is a way that will keep you motivated and inspired to want to keep getting better with finances. And so you've probably got that information from ChatGPT and it said to you, hey, based on your profile, this is what's important. And you've kind of leaned into that and thought, this is right for me. Actually, this makes sense. And you've probably actioned it. And so it's a fine line between finding someone who you resonate with and also understanding that their principles align with yours, I would say to that.
And how much do you think about credit scores? Because I absolutely butchered my credit score before I even realized it existed. My credit score was in the bin. I got 2 CCJs, which are county court judgments, which is where you really fuck up. Because I didn't know anything about money when I was 18, 19 years old, and they gave me these credit cards and I'd overdraft and defaulted and didn't pay them back and went to an ATM, put it in, it didn't come back out.
Yeah.
And then I found out that I had destroyed my credit rating before I knew what it was. And I hear this quite a lot from people. They don't understand the importance of it, or,
You don't realize the importance of it until you're looking to buy something big.
Yeah.
Because that's what it impacts, the credit score. Two people can go into a car showroom and choose the same car, and the amount they pay for it will be completely different based on the history, the credit background. And so it is something that you need to think about. It is something that you need to make sure you're paying off in time, in full, your credit card, for instance. And it is definitely one of the main things, or one of the things people should always look at and consider. And you could check your credit rating online for free. There are websites that do that. And you could check it, just make sure all of your details are correct. If there's any anomalies, correct that.